Alright. We're here with Lord Xander, the Collector. Uh, the shell here is basically Grixis Super Friends. I'm running all the worthwhile Planeswalkers, really. And by all of them, I mean pretty much all of them. I think Ralzarek could come in here, maybe, but it is 5, so we're just kind of staying with the tried and true, cream of the creme, best Planeswalkers and Grixis, really, in the format. A lot of control elements, as per usual. Sweepers, counter spells, discard, and spot removal. We'll see how many times this works. Unfortunately, is not very good, if at all relevant, against anything aggressive. Also, the attack, milling. You know how I feel about milling. I don't think it's particularly great. But there's some games where you get to resolve him, and your opponent might lose some cards. And then when it dies, they might lose significant permanence. We'll see. Seems real tough to do this, just because it's 7 mana. It's like the 7 mana Nicol Bolas as your commander, where, yeah, you can cast it, but most of the time the game's over before you get to it. Even if this was like a super powerful, unstoppable force, it still costs 7 mana. Like, you would still have to get to that point and then have it resolve. And then in some cases, even if it's like Omega powerful, have to actually untap with it as well. So in like super control matchups with counter spells and aggressive things, I don't see this as doing anything, but that's just par for the course for anything that costs more than like 6. Well, 6 and up, really. Oh, maybe even 5 and up, honestly. I still do like these treasure draw discard cards, so we're just trying those. I just think they're always decent. Even if you're like trying to leave up mana every turn, they fix your colors with the treasure. You get rid of dead cards in a given matchup to hopefully find something more useful. We'll see how many times that actually works. Seems good so far. I'm also running a decent number of lands instead of just my per usual 10 too few. So we'll see. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. Actually, before we start, I want to see if this is fixed. I didn't see a patch update for the game, so there's a chance it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Shoot. Rip. Alright. I know, spoilers, but I had to try. I forgot to try before I started the stream. I done forgot. It still doesn't work. If I go 30-0, you'll buy me a burr rune. Excuse me, a bear rune. From a sketchy website. No, I need a jaw, dude. The other one dropped yesterday. Yestermorrow. Alright, it's Kenrith. Interesting. So shrines, I think, right? Shrines? I haven't seen a lot of 5-color stuff lately. Probably have time in that case to keep like some stuff. This is a spicy. Look at that thing. Oh, look at that. I don't think I've seen that before. Turn 1 world tree. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Command tower into doing nothing. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna expressive right now. They have a card that's castable double green. I don't know. Oh, for infinity. Yeah. Okay. Okay, either my opponent's extremely unlucky, or they're playing some weird stuff. I'm gonna -2 to make a 1/1, because then from then on I don't have to loot, and they seem to be mono green, so... They also didn't cast the card that was castable last turn. I don't see them doing it this turn. It could be a cycle land, could be a fog. The draw 2 for 2 Tainted Indulgence. I'm not sure. I probably not. Probably am not doing that. Alright, let's swing in plus. I want to cast... Alright, well I can use a treasure token to cast Thoughtseize. But I can now just leave up... Yeah, I'll just leave up Counterspell and do this instead. It's a Veil of Summer? Alright, well I kind of have to take that if I want my stuff to work, so I will. Veil of Summer. That was not on my radar. That was not on my radar. I'm just going to counter this because it's their whole turn, and it's not really all that scary. The 2 Planeswalkers they have in hand are kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. Let's scry? Or do we want to look for the 5... No, let's just swing and draw first. Let's do the old Serum Visions order here. Another 5-mana one. I don't think I would have put that to the bottom. Another land. It is tapped again. I think that's fine. I can play this and then have Lord Xandar mana next turn. But then they just get to exile it. We could just play this and make it so both their Planeswalkers are pretty bad decisions. Yeah, right? Well, if they find a land, they have a good turn. Exile my board and then make a Chandra. I do have the Grixis Charm in here, the Maestros, whatever. I take it they did not find a land. Probably safe bet to just sacrifice Ujin to kill one of my Planeswalkers then. If they have a land, they can Chandra plus into 2 red and then cast Ujin as well. Do both. But if they have a land, they probably just exile my board and cast Chandra. Okay. That's not really the sequence I would have expected. Like, at all. It's kind of weird, but sure. Yeah, let's make another thing here. Let's plus here. I will reveal that. Play land. Now I can play Jace. I can play Ashiok to bounce this. They don't seem to have answers to my Planeswalkers, so if I just reset their board a bit, set them back. They didn't draw a land. I think that's a good idea. Cool. Alright. Ashiok just answered. It just answered the card. Just -3 Ashiok, kill the Planeswalker. Alright. You don't really see that happen too often with someone with like multiple cards in hand. We're very, very, very far ahead. They need like more than Casualties of War to come out of this. They need like a lot to do something. Oh wow, that is okay. I like it. I like it. Let's swing at I don't have a hard... Well, let's swing here, see what happens with the plus here. I was going to say, if we get an untapped land, we can actually play this. We did not. We can look again. I almost want to make a token, though. I could just play another Planeswalker, honestly, and just pull even farther ahead. Because until they answer this, it doesn't really matter what my opponent does. Let's do this. Oh, it's an untapped land, but we're a little too late. Yeah, let's force them to deal with the token. Little army of tokens. Languish? I don't think we need Languish. Alright. This is not a Shrine deck. It could be a 5-color Super Friends deck, maybe. I don't know. Man, I don't remember the last time I had 4 Planeswalkers in play and the game wasn't over. Oh, jeez. Looks like Casualties of War. Yep, literally one of the best cards they could possibly have. And like I said, it's probably not good enough. They need more. They killed Jace? Okay. I think I'd kill Ashiok. Wouldn't I kill Ashiok? I'll trade Ashiok for one of these 2 cards in their hand. Bouncing Ashiok and getting rid of it. Well, no, we're still blocking. We're always blocking. We're always blocking. Okay, either my opponent forgot I could block, or just felt like there's nothing they could realistically do. What did we exile? Yeah, it looks like they were 5-color Super Friends. And they, they stood no chance against 3-color Super Friends. They also drew one of the best cards in their deck, and we just kind of beat it. But when you're way behind, Casualties of War is not going to get you there. Even if you 3 for one of your opponent. The land isn't really relevant. You're killing a token, and at that point you just sort of paid 6 mana to kill a Planeswalker. Yeah, that was close to actually casting Xander. Kind of close. Wouldn't have been bad either. It would have put a serious clock on them, but it's not relevant when I have Planeswalkers amassing so much card advantage. They can't do anything anyways. Alright, we have 2 board wipes against Teamer. It's not 4-color. That's the other one. So probably more into elementals. Risen Reef is one of the best cards, so we really just don't want to see that. I'm hard-pressed to mulligan this. We only need 1 land to tutor for another one, so I think I like it here. Yeah, Casualties of the War is certainly a tiebreaker. Or if you're like ever so slightly ahead, it will push you way far ahead. And it's just a good card. Alright, let's hide the fact that we have Pact of Negation by pushing Shift-Enter. Never giving my opponent the knowledge that it's in our hand. We all don't have anything to do this turn, so what am I going to get? I could get another land. We could get a Planeswalker that's like 4 or less. Angrath would be nice. Nicol Bolas would be nice. I don't want to get Sorin. I just don't want to get something I can't cast, but I might just do that. I could get Scriptures as another board wipe. Honestly, we should really just take something that we can cast next turn that isn't just Pirate's Pillage. Shift-Enter, because I can't cast Pact of Negation. Yeah, very Jund. Yeah, decimate and Casualties of War. There's no better feeling. I love Decimate. I don't know why Decimate kills a creature, though. It just there's no business having red-green hard removal. Like, what? It doesn't even give him a beast? Is that beast with it? Just destroy target creature and on a red-green card? Like, really? Okay. I'll take it. Alright, they named Blue. Yep, they got the new patch lets you see the color on like the actual card, which can confuse you sometimes with like a token that I thought was blue this one time, but it was actually like a swamp, but it was a blue-green swamp, and it didn't tap for green, and I thought it did, like it from that weird fractal thing. The Rampant Growth I never have respect for. Alright, I kind of want to just develop a Planeswalker. And I will. We did tutor for it. I think making a 2/3 is fine, unless my opponent plays 3 elementals to immediately kill it, which I guess isn't the end of the world, because then I can blow everything up. Though I can see an argument for plussing. We do really need a land. Vampire's not bad, though. Hey, Matt, what up? Uses emote, has less pizzazz now. Yeah. We're just playing some Lord Xander. Or Grix's Super Friends with a 7-mana nuclear bomb that might not ever come to fruition. Opponent is casting another... This is the 3rd ramp spell. In fact, the only thing my opponent has done so far is cast ramp spells. I did not Shift-Enter. Should probably do that. Alright. A 1-for-1 trade. That's fine. That's fine. I think we'll discard Pact of Negation at this point and just get some treasures and play this on black. Not going to crack the treasures for Celestius. You have 1, 2, 3. Okay. They don't have an elemental in hand. They would have played it first. Scavenging Ooze. Really? Okay. I can play this and use one treasure token to sweep the board. I'm not really in the market of respecting sweepers, and I guess I'll cast the one that is... Oh, I have to crack both. Oh, maybe that was a mistake. Was that a mistake? It was a mistake. I did not want to crack both treasure tokens. Yep, that was a mistake. Yeah. Yep, I miscounted. Still fine. I think it's still reasonable. I think this is still reasonable. Omnath is now basically Tatyova. Just given what I'm looking at here. It's basically Tatyova. Where every time they play a land, they draw a card. The life gain is not really relevant with Tatyova regardless. It's just the same thing, basically. Opponent left it in the graveyard, so some kind of reanimate spell. I don't really know what it could be. Oh, they're just going to use it to Masked Vandal. Yeah, so it goes to the exile, then they redirect it. So they don't have to use a different card in their graveyard for, I guess, Uro or something. Of course, they have a land. What? Did I say dragons? I must have said dragons. I just didn't kill my opponent's commander. I must have said dragons. Okay, well, my bad. Whoops. I don't think I've ever done that before with that card. I don't think I've ever messed up Crux of Fate. Wow, that's really bad. Oh, whoops. Ay, ay, ay. That is really bad. Now they have Toski. Great. Well, I guess one blowout leads to another. I might have just punted this game. Whatever. If I drew a land, I can Liliana -2, but I didn't draw a land, so game's over. Yep, that was horrible. I've never done that in my life, not with Crux of Fate. I clicked it so fast. I clicked it with so much confidence, too. I'm like, oh, it's this one. Like, I've never done that. Jeez. Good grief. My bad. Wasn't looking good, though. I mean, I didn't have an answer to Toski. I just didn't. It was going to hit me. But I would probably be in a slightly better spot if they didn't have to spend 9 mana to cast Omnath and wouldn't have a 5/5 that was drawing cards. So, whoops. Alright, so Mono Blue Flash. It could be another really bad matchup. They're on the play, too, which kind of just makes it so I can't do anything. Flash, Defender, Haste, copy a spell that wasn't cast. Okay, well, the commander as is really isn't all that scary. I wonder if you cast it turn 1. Like, if you're not getting value immediately from it, is it worth putting it in play? That seems kind of weird, right? Copy target spell you control that wasn't cast. To be fair, I don't really know what this commander does. Yeah, I guess I'll just make them get rid of it. Don't really care about Lucky Clover. There's not that many adventures in the game, right? There can't be more than like 10 cards this actually does something with. There's just not that many cards. So I'm not too concerned about it. Famous last words. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave up these two. That seems like a good idea. Look at the top 5. Steal 3 life or deal 5 damage to something. I imagine there's a lot of counterspells. This is mono blue. It's not something that isn't that. What is... They're copying their solve the equation? Nope. They have a copy in hand. I don't know what the blue copy card's called, but they have it and it's castable. I did snap kill all dragons. Yeah. Okay, my opponent just got counterspell. That's funny. I mean, if they want to counter Prismari Command... Nah, let's just look for a land. There's no way you counter this. The rest seems like a good one, but I do need a land, so... Grim Tutor is not a land. Also, I don't see an avenue in which we can just tap out to cast it at like any point in the future. We don't even have double black. Well, not currently. Alright, so they probably will counter this. Treasure, artifact, treasure, artifact. I don't see why they wouldn't. We can play this and then just have nothing to do. I'm not opposed to that. I think that's fine. I can pack the negation their commander when they flash it in, but unless they're putting something on the stack with it, I don't think we really care that much. Looks like they're not going for it. Nope, they're going for it. Okay. So this can copy a copy. You copy a spell, and then you can copy your copy, which is really weird. You may play blah blah blah. That's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. I have to spend all my mana to deal with it now. It dies to Languish though, so I guess we actually don't care. Let's see. Pay 2 unless... Alright, so it will just copy my Languish for me? Okay, that seems pretty cool. Resolve. Decline. We now both put Languish on the stack. That is very funny. Now we can Tails in the Midnight Clock trigger. I like my opponent's deck. It's not mono blue tempo. We don't even care about the Midnight Clock if they don't dump their hand. Yep, just play more lands. Yeah, if they don't, like, actually go low on cards, I don't really care about the Midnight Clock. It's not really a concern. Especially when they're missing lands. Looks like they just really want to hit a land drop, so it makes sense to just pop the mine Midnight Clock. But that does mean you're you're going down a land to do that? This means the Midnight Clock never... Oh, the Narset's Reversal. Wow. Wait a minute, that doesn't work. Don't you have to Tails in your own trigger now? What? What? Oh, it still works. It's, I guess, no, it doesn't, rip. Okay, I was about to say, that did not work out for my opponent in any way. So now they lose half their stuff. Midnight Clock doesn't work. They can't kill Xandar, they're blue. But it's in play. I can potentially mill them for a bunch. Opponent had discarded an adventure and this thing. Okay. Yeah, it's past 12 now. It's 15. Do we get to attack? Oh! Oh! I attacked! I did it! I attacked them with Lord Xandar. Yes! Alright, I legit never thought we were ever going to do that, ever. Wow, look at that. Dude, Lanzor, this is great. I can even see people's lists and get ideas. Lord Xander's the future content creator. He gives me ideas. I can now see my opponent's errant list. They have Spell Pierce, I guess. Okay. Whelming Wave. All creatures in their hands except Krakens, Leviathans, and Octopuses. Okay, you can put this back to my hand. That means you discard 2 cards. I don't really think I was going to kill you with actually milling you out. Let's get rid of a counterspell here, because I want to draw cards. Another plus to this is we didn't instantly die to milling our opponent for 40 from like some nonsense that they could have potentially just resolved. Alright, discard 2 cards. It is 17 o'clock. We have Pact of Negation still. We can cast this. It doesn't stop me from... I don't really think I need these. I think Pact of Negation is going to have me covered. My opponent hasn't done anything yet, so... Jin-Gitaxias and... What? Oh, Jin-Gitaxias gives you a copy in which you can then copy with this card. Yeah, this game is kind of over. The problem with this commander, or so from this one game I've seen with it, is... Well, actually, now that we've seen so many cards in the graveyard, we can actually... like talk about it some more. Narset's Reversal didn't work because they copied Tails in. They needed a target, so they still countered their own thing. They 2-for-1 themselves, sort of, and I get to keep my Tails in. So it was actually really, really bad to do that. Like, really bad. Fae of Wishes cannot get a card from the sideboard. You can't have a sideboard. So this, as an adventure, is completely useless. In fact, you can't even copy it. What is the actual spell called? Grant It. It's called Grant It. Right there. So you can't cast Grant It in Historic Brawl because you can't have a sideboard. You can't copy it with Lucky Clover, and you can't copy it here. It doesn't do anything. You just can't... You don't have a sideboard. So a bit of a mistake from the opponent there to just be running the card. It's actually just unplayable. They had Brawl, so a lot of counter spells. Nimble Obstructionist, this is Stifle that cycles. Cantrips. Obviously a bunch of islands. This thing. Divide by 0. See, the problem with this commander is you need spells. Like, it as is does not give you access to what it does. You need a way to copy your stuff, which means the commander doesn't do anything. You need another card for it to start to work. Now, they did have one. They had one, but there's not a lot of adventures you can play, especially in mono blue, right? You can play the one that mills me for 4. That doesn't do anything. So that doesn't... The adventure thing doesn't seem great. Jin-Gitaxias just resolving and then you untapping with it is good enough to win anyways. You don't need to copy your copied spell. That's just sort of win more. It's overkill. It doesn't really do anything. Copying a counter spell can be good if you don't want to get into like a fight over something and you just want to get rid of it completely, I guess. But this doesn't work without the Clover. Thus, by extension, neither does the commander. Actually, a lot of these cards just don't... Like, we can mill half our library, and unless they have a way to copy this, their commander just can't copy it. It has to copy things that weren't cast. Yeah, it just needs too much help. It needs too much help. It, on its own, doesn't do anything, and that puts you at a major disadvantage, because your commander requires another card to do something, and that is extremely demanding. But hey, we hit our opponent with Lord Xander. Cast it twice, too. Nice. We'll take it. Illegitimate business person. That's the 1-mana Frogify, right? I do like that card. But we're black, so we don't have to actually play those. We can just kill the creature. No, Midnight and Military Time is 0000. I don't think it hits 24. It just goes 23:59 into 0000, which would actually be midnight. So when it hits 24, it should loop back to 0, and that would work there. Or it just stops at 23 and the game crashes. Alright, it's Jetmir. We need sweepers and probably nothing else. That's got 1, but I can't really cast. It's kind of expensive. We have 2, and they're closer to being castable, so... Yeah, it's also just tough because it is mono blue, and you can't really I mean, you can't make it not mono blue because it's a blue commander. There's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. Of course, there's an Esper Sentinel in play. Do I play a tap land? I think I just play a tap land. I'll just scry. I don't really have to foretell saw it coming. This isn't bad, but it's not great. Actually, speaking of Kaito, I want Phyrexian Arena in here. Forgot to put that card in this deck. I think there's definitely a spot for it. Opponent reveals Mountain, plays Blade Splicer. Interesting. Okay. I think we're gonna give him a card and play the Lantern. Think we're going to do that. Are we doing that? Is that a good idea? Probably not. But they're gonna draw a card no matter what. I might as well have them do it now. I don't actually have an untapped land for Storm's Wrath, so I sort of have to do this. They are drawing 2 cards off of Esper Sentinel that way. I hate this card so much. I hate this card. Please, Wizard. Every time I play it, I don't get the value, but opponents always do. All right, so what does this do? Makes a wolf. This kills it, so that was a really good look. Happy to see that. Yep. All right, draw a card again. The rest ain't looking good. Chandra's looking decent. Shadow's Verdict's also probably going to look decent here. Oh, shoot. Did that person say something? I didn't get to see it. I wasn't looking. Swift action, though. Swift action has been made. I never remember what this does. Nothing of consequence. Okay, so I could just leave up a counterspell. We can duress first. Ujin in Fateful Absence. Alright, let's get rid of that. Let's play Replicating Ring? It means I'm not leaving up Saw It Coming, but my opponent's hand is terrible, so I think that's fine. Just play a land here. Okay, well, this doesn't really do anything on its own. Yeah. It doesn't die to the cards in my hand. And I don't have the mana to Xander and keep it alive through this removal spell, which they can cast at instant speed. How much mana would I need? I need another untapped land to do that. I can just take this and kill their Zariel. I think that's just a good idea. I should probably kill this, because that's a problem, and I don't have an answer to it, so. I also get to use it without it being countered. Doesn't feel great, but hopefully we don't just die to Jetmir. If we find an untapped land, we're in a very good spot. Okay. They tapped all their white, so there's no instant speed Fateful Absence, which is kind of weird. We found the land, so we can cast this. They lose a card in hand, and then they keep this, and we counter it. So this is a very good win-win here. Yep, it's a mountain. I'm going to crack this, thin my deck. Probably get an island. Doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, I guess we will get an island in case we lose. They play like a Naturalize on the Chromatic Lantern. I lost my blue. Okay. Well, I now sort of have to just block the Jetmir. Kind of. Probably should block the Jetmir. Should absolutely swing. They do not swing. That is crazy to me. Shadow's Verdict only gets rid of this. Any creature kills me if I swing, kind of. So I guess I shouldn't. Let's see what's under this card. Nothing. Okay, so I have a chump blocker with a Manland? I guess? Well, that was a insane card to end with. I still need my opponent to swing. I need them to swing with Jetmir. Alright, they do, so now we get to do this. I get to block here, I get to block here so I don't die. Is that the right way to do it? Yep. And then Shadow's Verdict gets rid of the token and the thing sitting in play. That's huge. Non-land permanents all get sacked. They probably just get rid of the 2 non-creatures, right? I forgot this trigger was even going to happen, honestly. Okay. Probably just get rid of the 2 non-creatures, right? You don't want me to just win because of a like a spot removal spell pulling me out of this. So we got a huge, huge blowout here. Wow, that's insane. That is insane. They chose the permanents I would choose as well. I don't think it's unreasonable. Just didn't really pan out for them. Alright. Probably should have looked at the card with Mind Stone before I cast my commander. Alright, well, I was going to cast it regardless. I'm not leaving up Essence Scatter. Looks like nothing on the top. That's scary. Tutor. Alright, let's see what's under here first. We can just tutor for something that just wins the game, though, probably. I imagine. Field, battlefield. Everything dies to deal 5 except my stuff. I could Liliana. I can Angrath and steal their wolf token. No, then they're stuck. They have Jetmir in play still. I guess we just get something that deals with their stuff. River's Rebuke, maybe? Reset everything? Reset their stuff? Yeah, we'll get River's Rebuke, bounce their stuff. And I can counter it on the way down. When Jetmir dies again, I get that trigger. But they don't have a lot of permanents, so that's not, like, super relevant. I almost have Replicating Ring flipped. That's funny. Feed the Swarm. Alright, we can deal with this enchantment. Which means they only have a 2/2. I think I will, because I don't want my opponent to cheat cards off the top, which is kind of how we lose at this point, or a likely way how we lose. Opponent plays Jetmir for the 8th time. Oh, my back. I need to draw cards here. That's not good. Yeah, we still might lose. I don't have any way to do anything, so... Yep. Cool. It's double strike, block there. It doesn't die. Whatever. Literally just drew nothing, so. And my opponent drew a card that actually just kills us because of the board. I could have killed the token, I guess, but then, I mean, I still have this Jetmir to deal with. Yeah, that's crazy. We had so many. I just tutored for the wrong card, fundamentally. From that point, I shouldn't lose. I should tutor for something that wins me the game, and I guess I just didn't pick right. It was definitely a choice in there that was right, and it wasn't just bouncing their stuff. I figured I would have drawn something in the meantime to capitalize on the tempo, but of course I didn't, so I lose. Absolutely something could have been different that makes me win the game there. Absolutely could have found a card that worked. So that's just on me. Should have been able to win that. Well, this is the creatureless blue-red control thing. So we have our work cut out for us, I guess. Or maybe not. Well, it could still, I mean, it's still creatureless. Didn't expect Essence Scatter to work there. That's nice, I guess. Yeah, let's play this. Pass. Is it Locket? Okay. I will blow that up. I guess I'll make a treasure token. I do like my hand. Okay, well, I can just do that again, so that's weird. Do I do it again? Treasure token shatter? Yeah. I don't want them to use it to draw cards. I don't think that's a good idea. Which they could. Alright, this is good. This is good. Tapped out on their own turn to cast this. I think that's fine. Probably have a lot of bounce spells, which is an issue, but... Probably Angrass Rampage it. Let's tutor to make it look like I actually got Angrass Rampage. But I actually just got Chandra because they're a blue-red counterspell deck. Then I play this, and then deny their ability to copy Alrand's Epiphany with their commander. With their Ral. Mentor's Guidance. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Probably top the land? Maybe. Let's see if this just wins the game. My hand looks really funny. So do I just -5 or -6, or do I just keep plussing? I should probably kill this because I don't want them to use it, because that's probably how we lose. Though, I can make them lose a bunch of cards in hand. Let's see what they discard before I make a decision. I could just... No, I think it's just always right to put this in play. Because now they have to bounce it. They can't just straight kill it. Well, I mean, they can kill it. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter, yeah. They only discard one card, too. I don't know. It's just a 6/6 at this point. They get rid of Urza's Rage. Okay. Oh, look, it's an extra turn. What a surprise. What'd they get rid of? Magic Missile. Weird. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm not going to swing with the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I also don't really feel threatened by kind of anything my opponent's got going on right now. I did just give them a card. With this thing. Put 2 cards at the bottom. Okie dokie. Yep. And this is why milling people is not a good idea. Ever. Mm-hmm. This is literally as bad as it can possibly get. We actually probably just lost the game because we milled our opponent. Oh god. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just pick up 2 counterspells. Please, for the love of God. Just pick up 2 counterspells so I can move on with my life. I can't kill these giant tokens because they have 2 counterspells. I only have 1 way to deal with them. I can't mill my opponent out with Xander. So this game is over. Well, they only got 1 counterspell, so if I have Duress and they can't do anything, I guess I can do something there. Or top deck Duress. I don't have it in hand. Nope, I don't. So the game's over. Because I milled my opponent. Yep. What a surprise. Oh, look, we milled another version of the thing that we milled last time, which now means they can just do that again for something even more degenerate. And the game is over 2 ways of Sunday. Cool. Well, it wasn't over if I didn't mill them. So I guess I should not actually attack with my commander. It was just actively a mistake. It basically cost us the game. We weren't totally out of that game until we gave them infinite resources. Which is why I think milling is the worst strategy in Magic. Well, at least in Commander. Apparently in Modern it's not bad. You can actually mill someone reasonably fast. But not here. Nope. You mill them for half their deck. So you know how many decks want to actually get traumatized? There's so many decks in the game that want half of their deck in the graveyard. So you did nothing but help them. And it doesn't actively get cards out of their hand. It's just bad. It's just really, really, really bad. Even like mono white decks could potentially utilize a graveyard. Like it's not just blue, red, or black. You know, green and white can do things with the graveyard too. Or just pick cards up out of the graveyard that they just didn't have access to before. And now they do, because you just gave it to them. Alright, let's check for traps. We can slow this hand down a lot if we take the Arcane Signet, I guess. But everything kind of just dies to... No, we're going to take this. Shadow's Verdict just deals with everything regardless. I don't really care if they have just a 1/4 sitting around. Like post Shadow's Verdict. They didn't even play... Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so we can play this, and then Mind Stone or Thoughtseize? What are we Thoughtseizing? I really don't care about Mentor. Mentor of the Meek is not great early, or, like... You go 3 into 4, and you actually can't pay 2, because you're tapped out, so Mentor is not really all that scary. Heroic Intervention's kind of a reinforcement, is kind of annoying. Well, Heroic Intervention is too, but Heroic Reinforcements makes it so I can't play Sorin. I didn't draw a land. I don't know. Alright. Let's see. I should probably take Trosanti now. And then leave them with the reinforcements. Really need a red source? Or just another land at all will work. It's not the end of the world. We can just Sorin and look for one. They're not casting reinforcements this turn, so I guess they're casting their commander? To which then they can turn the tokens into like 3/1s or something? Though they chose to play a Cliff Drop and not a Shock land. That's kind of weird. I don't know what that's about. Found the land, just going to pass. Everything will die to Shadow's Verdict, whether or not it's got haste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We go to 7. What are you doing on 5? What? This costs 2 mana to activate. Oh no, it costs 1. Excuse me, it costs 1. Okay. I guess this still triggers, even though these are not power toughness 2 or less. I don't know why that is, but okay. I guess it doesn't see the buff till after. Kind of weird. Alright, well, it's tokens, so there's not that much haste in the deck, really. At least I can't I don't expect there to be. At least not enough haste to just outright kill me. Probably blow up my Mind Stone. Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably what I would do. Do you play this as a land? Yes, okay. Kind of nice to see that out of the way. Nah, we're just going to play Sorin to make a token. We could Stonewall my opponent. I think that's a good idea. And just putting 2 threats in play is good. 2 threats that are both pretty good. Probably should have cycled on their turn before they made any other decision first. Opponent's playing strange. Also, what does this do? Oh, it gives you a treasure token, which then you can turn into a cat, I guess. Huh. That's interesting. Huatli! Hey, Huatli. This is the second time I've seen Huatli since I've played her. Not the commander this time. Probably makes sense to not let this die. Well, we could just trade Planeswalkers, right? Yeah, we'll just trade Planeswalkers? Okay, I guess that's fine. I'm confused. I think something's broken on my stream. I don't know. Something might be broken. Does it matter which one of these I cast? They're the same thing. Oh, I'll cast the old one. Okay, swing. Yeah, no one has said anything since Volkmar banned that weird, what I assume is a bot. So, if it just happened to be silence, so be it. But I haven't read anything since the ban. I also have no way to know if that's a problem, actually, because I don't have Steam on my computer. I don't run anything else on my computer when I'm doing this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we sweep the board? We're not getting anything back, right? How many snow lands we have? 2? Yeah, we're not getting anything back. That's usually how that card goes. I could just... No, we're too low. I think we're too low to not deal with the board. Can I play this first? I'd have to use all my treasure tokens, but I mean, that's kind of what they're for, right? But Angrass Rampage might be useful later, and I might not want to get rid of it. So let's do that. That's incredibly annoying. Opponent has Jetmir, but it's not their commander. Oh, okay. Alright, no, it's all good. I just wasn't sure because it's never happened before. I don't need my feelings confirmed, don't worry. Looks like Jetmir is going to just do us in. Again. Alright, I can steal Warboss. Which I guess I just have to. Yeah, I just have to. This doesn't even really save me, but... I have to swing with a token. I guess there's no reason not to swing with both, because they're both going to die anyways? They're both just going to die. It really doesn't matter. Opponent just takes it. That's kind of surprising. Okay. I'm going to kill the token. And now we have to deal with Jetmir. Though Jetmir is simply just a 4-mana 5/4. It's not actually doing anything. I'm in the background. You just slowly chaos runs. You can't stop. Neurotically keeping your belt full. You know how many times I've died because I refused to drink a potion out of my belt? I'm like, no, it needs to be full. And then I died because I just didn't drink out of it. It's happened to me a lot. Okay, so they have a decision to put me to 2 or kill Angrath. Looks like they're just going to put me to 2. That's reasonable. It demands I put something in play to actually block. Otherwise I am dead, so I can see it. I agree with it. I agree with it. It's not like you're a control deck. You're not going to... Now, fortunately, we have something. It's not big. I can make something big, but they still have the ability to kill something small and have it not matter. I can also just get rid of one of these cards, and that's probably slightly better. I think it's actually better to get rid of this and then just chump block and hope it's good enough. It's not, so be it. They're just top deck mode. Actually, we're dead to a lot of cards, but I guess there's not really anything I can do about that. Looks like we're not dead. Well, I mean, I am going to block. You have to play the card. You can't hold it. Wow. That was a card that did not kill me. Okay. Oh, this can't do anything but that. I can't steal this, so I guess I have nothing to do here. I can play this. Block there. Yeah, we just play this. Now we go to 1. They make a token. But does the token tap? It is tapped and attacking, so that's fine. And I'm probably going to have to wind up cycling this land to find something. This doesn't really get me out of it either. They can still top deck something that kills me. Oh, they can just pump it and kill me that way. Cool. Didn't even see that. Yep. All right. If I paid attention to that, I obviously could have cycled to look for something. I don't know what my next draw was, but that's the second Naya opponent that just barely pulled out a win, which is kind of cool to see. They survived board wipes and came around on top against Grixis like nonsense. I mean, it sucks to be on this side of it, but it's cool to see. I like the Naya token strategy. I like seeing Huatli do something. It is kind of cool. What on earth is this? Oh, is that the thing we played against? Yeah, this is the thing we played against in draft. One of our few games we actually won was against someone playing this. Well, that being said, do we like this hand? We do. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, who was the... What did you... Who's Ififi? Who was that? Was it actually a bot? Because I can't see what they said. I literally can't read what they had said. It doesn't show me. I really want to play... Yeah, we're going to play this now. That's another cool sleeve there. I like these. I don't have any of these, unfortunately. I think we'll Pirates Pillage now, getting rid of Backwater. I think that's a good idea. Can probably afford to just do that, and I'm not going to cast Valki. In fact, we can actually play Tybalt next turn. God, I love treasure tokens. Yep, speaking of treasure tokens, our opponent has the treasure token doubler. Let's put this on blue. Yeah. Then, whoop. Whoop. I'm going to exile the Zorn. I can now cast it myself. And I do have a way to make treasure tokens. Oh, was a sub seller? Okay. I haven't had one of those in a while. Well, their main priority is killing Tibalt. They can't this turn. It is bad news bears. For my opponent. Alright, looks like they can't. Or kind of unlikely at this point. Yeah. Alright, so this is just huge. Yeah, I'll play the free land. I'll also, I guess, kick this? And have no mana woes for the rest of the game? Yeah, alright. They can now play their thing, I guess. Doesn't really do much. Actually just dies a Tibalt. Rhythm of the Wild, alright, so now everything in their deck has haste. Chatterfang, okay. Well, it can't kill Tibalt. Chatterfang. That's kind of cool. I like that. Hey, I stole a giant dragon. Alright, so I can play this and then cast Big Score and make a bunch of treasure tokens. We drew a Thoughtseize. Well, one knows I like that card, so what's going on here? Liliana Dreadhorde General, but it's not the stained glass version. I'm upset. I might just take one of these. Yeah, I'll take this. That card's annoying. I have bad memories against it. I have 4 mana sitting here. So I don't really need 5, right? I don't need 5. I'll just play the tap land my opponent knows about, and I'll hold on to counter spells. Trade with Chatterfang if they go to cast it. I mean, go to swing with it. Probably will. They play that. Alright, I'm going to Tails in that. Wait a minute. Can't be countered because of Rhythm of the Wild. Okay. Okay, I did not assess this. This was not part of my mind here. I did not realize this was the possible outcome. Yeah, this is a problem. Rhythm of the Wild. Yep. How are you not killing Tibalt? That makes no sense to me. What are you doing? Another creature. You have to sacrifice another creature to do this. They are sacrificing Chatterfang. They're not going to get squirrels. Oh, right. This does that, but I can just Tails End it now. Alright, I guess I don't need to stop now. Alright, that was really nice. I will, in fact, exile their commander, I think? Or do we just keep plussing for card advantage? Because we don't have a good hand, really. Put it up to 5. Yeah, I think we should. Alright, nope, opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Rhythm of the Wild was insane, though. We had a lot of counter spells in hand. But we probably just plus for card advantage. I can play Liliana, play this thing, block. It doesn't have trample. I have their hand covered. What does this even do? Okay, it doesn't do anything I really care about. It is a 4-mana 7/6 that does have haste, but if I have this with a zombie and this in play, I have 4/4 flyer block here, 2/2, probably just jump block this thing, and then I can just hard counter Liliana because it's not a creature. I can get around it. Prismari Command wasn't too great. Zorn. I don't like this card, but we actually stole it and had treasures to go with it. But I tend to not care for this card, really. I don't think it's super important. You'd rather that card just be like a treasure generator itself or something, or a card draw spell, or a sweeper, or a threat that doesn't just die to your own sweeper, something like that. Oh yeah, Cabaretti Ascendancy, the one I don't think is particularly great. It's like the Naya Phyrexian Arena. You got Mage Fist, Eye of Eldritch. Oh, you got the Tal weapon? Mm. Yeah, I have a bunch of Alibabos for my Goldfine Barbarian that I never use. I forgot to put Phyrexian Arena in here, and I will always forget until I see Kaito in the hand, and then when I don't see him anymore, I'll forget again. Whoops. Alright, so this is the uncommon Grixis thing. It's got haste, and then, like, can sort of get value. I don't know. Alright, let's see what you can do. Seems cool enough. This is definitely a deck where I can see mission briefing being played. Or just surveil stuff. Obviously, milling my opponent who wants to be milled because they pull things out of the graveyard is terrible. So this is another game where swinging with my commander is just actively bad. And I should never do that. I should also probably never be the first one to pull the trigger on anything. Probably. Supreme Will, okay. I kind of like Supreme Will a little bit more than Maestros Charm. This can kill something actually in play, though. I don't know. I'm sure they don't, like... They're not inherently replacing each other or anything like that. You can obviously run both. Chandra's a good one in this matchup. I'd be upset to lose it. There's no lands here, so... Oh, I guess there actually is. Never mind. The weird-looking one. I think we'll just take Chandra. I think it's just a good card, and will probably give us a safe avenue to victory later. Is there a reason to play an untapped land? I'm not playing Kaito. I could just play Kaito and force my opponent to deal with it. Pick up Supreme Will, especially if they tap out on their own turn next turn. But then I'm not really capitalizing on that. I don't know. I'm just going to cast it. If it gets countered, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I don't think I care. Alright, good to see negate out of the way. But it's not out of the way forever, because my opponent can immediately pick it. No, they cannot immediately pick it up. They can only... It's only when this dies, right? Yeah. Alright, they can tap it instantly to... No, they don't have any mana. Okay. Interesting. So, do I cast Hedron Archive? Probably. Probably. Shock myself, cast Hedron Archive. Leave up Memory Lapse. So, they can tap this to generate essentially 2 additional mana. Basically. They have a Braid. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm willing to fight. Doesn't get a Braid out of the way forever, but... This makes it look like I really need it, and I don't. Because it lets me cast Xandar, which I'm not going to cast anyways. They can obviously cantrip right back into it. Probably not too difficult for them. They do not swing. Looks like they're leaving something up. I can play this, which they won't counter, and then I can play Chandra on the other side of it. Not going to kill their commander. Seems kind of pointless. I'm sure they have removal spells. It isn't like a... Okay, that is technically a removal spell. They do need a little bit more to actually close it out, but I'm sure they have that covered there. They have red in their deck. Or just literally a removal spell will do it as well. Commence the endgame. Prismari command? What's going on? Okay. Opponent's playing a bunch of weird stuff, I guess. Bunch of really weird stuff. They have 3 mana, not just 1. Which means I probably can't resolve Lord Xandar. Lord Xander, not Xandar. Can I cast this first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't. Wait. I cannot. Alright, I mean, alright, sure. It's pretty obvious they have something. Otherwise, I don't know why they let me... Okay, they don't have anything. Maybe they were just bluffing? I guess, yeah, it looks like to be the case. Sure, they lose 2 cards here. Be surprised if they kept a Braid, but that could just mean the other cards are bad. They got rid of a Mauling, which means they have an answer to Xander that is not the Mauling. Like Vraska's Contempt. Yep. Alright. I have to deal with this board. It's going to start killing me. So let's try to do that now. We can do this first. I'll get rid of Hedron Archive. Duress. Okay. Let's float black here. Cast Duress. Double Counterspell? No, wait, excuse me. I'm dumb. That's not double Counterspell. Let's take that. Then Blood in the Snow. Oh, no, I don't have the mana. Oh, no, I'm dumb. Shoot. Alright. We're going down to 2, I guess. Yeah, I guess we're doing this. What are we getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or let's just assess like 7 mana, because we're probably losing to Celestius. Yeah, this deals with the board. It's another threat that my opponent will have to find an answer to. They can pick one up out of the graveyard, but that... Going to 2 is just bad, because my opponent has a commander that has haste and is 2 power. So that's not good. At all. Okay, what is this? Banefire? Expansion Explosion? Expansion Explosion, okay. Alright, dead. We're losing to some really weird stuff, which is kind of cool. Naya tokens, 2 different Naya token cards, and then a Grixis completely do nothing but cast spells things. But I mean, at that point, you're basically playing against Brawl, but it has more colors. But it's just Brawl, right? You could probably just play Brawl as your commander. I mean, you could put Brawl in the deck and then, like, be almost completely mono blue and splash the other 2 colors with that kind of strategy. That's pretty cool. Ob Nixilis in hand? Okay. So we're against Yarok. Not too scary. Oh, they have their best land on 1. No mana woes for them. I do like Angrath. How far are we from it? I think we'll find lands. We're just gonna play. We're just gonna keep it on top. I don't think I've ever actually cast Expressive Iteration in Commander before. Well, I mean, it's either a growth spiral or you're... Nope, I don't know what it... Veil of Summer? Okay. So, do we play Ob Nixilis? Or do we not play Ob Nixilis? Puts a threat into play. I think I'm just going to play Ob Nixilis. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of things that, like, give us a second one, so... Yeah, I'll make a devil. Hey, Bread, what up? Plays a tap land, so no Yarok this turn. This is good for us. I think we're happy to see that. Alright, I can deny my opponent the ability to play anything next turn by just playing Scriptures. I think that's fine. Put a counter on this Devil. They just can't play a creature this turn cycle if they're paying attention. A new emote? Need a new one? Yeah, I know. I have like all the slots to do it, and I just don't know. I don't know. I'm lazy, I guess. The one I do have is hand drawn. I did draw it by hand. I just haven't made a second one. Alright, this actually does get around the Scriptures and lets them still cast something, which is not what I wanted. It's actually just really bad, too. It's like a really good one to see. For them, alright, we're going to play Angrath and leave up Pact of Negation. Well, you can't help but leave it up. So you don't really have a choice. You always leave it up. Let's get you. And yeah, Angrath. Start plussing away here. I don't see a reason not to attack. They have 5, 6 mana. Yarok does not have haste or anything. I don't really care if they just play it. Kind of happy to see a land. Looks like they have Casualties of War, so I guess we're casting this. Massacre Girl? What? I think I'll just counter that. Yeah, it kills my token. That could be a problem. Interesting. They have Assassin's Trophy. Okay. I'll get another island so I don't get screwed over by my Pact trigger. Make me tap a little bit better, I guess. Not terribly relevant, though. Alright, they lose their graveyard, but they're out of cards, and the 2 cards they have are not really all that scary. Let's play this and swing. I'm surprised they didn't cast Yarok. Yeah, I think I would have cast Yarok there. That's kind of weird. Just fire up Lord Xandar? It can't ever attack. I think we'll just iteration. Wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put this to my hand? Oh god. Black, black, black. No, this is colorless. Okay, so I can't cast this. Let's put this in my hand. Wait a minute. Black, black, black. No, I can't. Alright, so to my hand. And I can't cast this either. So I guess I put it to the bottom. There's no reason to exile it. Well, that's unfortunate. That's not great. Let's play this. Let's get rid of one of these two. I guess this one. Feed the Swarm. Probably going to end up Feed the Swarming their commander, so I'll just hold on to this. Interesting attack. I don't think I like it. Okay. Doesn't cast Yarok? I don't understand. What are you doing? What the heck does that mean? What are you doing that doesn't want to cast Yarok in this spot? What? Were you scared of Lord Xandar? I mean, I'm not going to walk into anything if I don't have to. Why would you not cast that? Just to level up Incubation Druid? That doesn't seem good at all. It just seems really bad. I mean, even a counterspell doesn't blow me out completely. I'm not dead to one. So, okay. And I think I will plus here. I am going to plus. Incubation Druid does not just kill this. In fact, I could just feed the Swarm Incubation Druid at this point. Looks like they were getting rid of the card in hand? Just exile a land. Whatever this card is, it has to be like real weird. Okay. I guess I'll try to do this now. Okay, well if they had Yarok in play, we would have just killed that instead. They would have kept this around. It wouldn't have been adapted, right? Let's see. 1, 2. The exile lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now taps for 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can level this up and cast this. They could have done that last turn. You can't really hold back because I'm slowly going to pull ahead. I am a Grixis control deck, right? So this card must have been... Like, did they want to tap down Xander? What does that do? I can't even really swing with it anyways. And you're not doing anything to punish this being tapped. You can't even... Well, I guess, again, you can level this up, then tap. So you can swing at this for 3. If I... No, well, this wouldn't be in play because I cast this. I don't know. That card, them not casting it was probably the smartest thing they could do because it made me think about things. But I guess it wasn't anything. It was a big old, what do they call it, a nothing burger there. It was nothing. Big old nothing. Before I forget, I want to put Phyrexian Arena in here. Apparently we've won 4 games. I'm pretty sure we've played more than 4. We did lose 3 in a row. No, we lost 2 in a row. The 2 Naya players, and then we won like the RAL one, and then we lost to Grixis Snapcaster thing. Alright, what do we drop for Phyrexian Arena? We could drop Shadow's Verdict. It's one of my least favorite sweepers. It is 5 mana as well. We have a lot on 5. Like a lot. I could even maybe drop River's Rebuke too. Probably not super relevant. Like, when you already have a bunch of sweepers, I don't know what this is doing that much. Like, I'm not capitalizing on the tempo too much. It's kind of like Time Warp. Take an extra turn is great and all, but if I'm not doing anything with it, it doesn't really matter. So kind of shutting your opponent's whole turn down by them recasting everything. If I'm not capitalizing on it, it's not great. Especially the Enter the Battlefield effects are good for them too. And I can't really cast this and leave out counter spells at the same time. It's also 6 mana, not terribly useful against very aggressive things. So I'll drop it. Probably add another land. Probably a Swamp. Yeah. Well, we can add the Grixis thing there. The weird Grixis whatever. I don't know the name of the land. The new one. Might not have it. The Terramorphic Expanses. I could throw that in there too, why not? Which one is it? Oh god. Not Riveteer, Maestros, right? Yes, okay. And then we can drop that weird Nicol Bolas land. The weird filter land, Crypt of the Eternals. It's really not great. You have to like go down a mana. Yeah, it's just not. It's not necessary. For some reason, I didn't know it had the filter thing on it. I thought it like tapped for the correct colors if it was casting a certain type of card, which would probably be a Planeswalker, because it's like a Nicol Bolas land. But nope, it doesn't work that way. It's just a worse Shimmering Grotto. I think Shimmering Grotto does the same thing, except it taps for any color. It's not just Grixis. Though you don't gain 1 life when it enters the battlefield, so they're somewhat different. My neck is killing me. We have Essence Scatter. Scarab God is typically zombies, so it seems. I would like to turn one mountain. Just get a mountain, call it a day, and not get cute with it, and then just shock myself with Watery Grave. I hate sending the message that I have something castable, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Just do what you can to stay efficient. Okay. Didn't work out too well for us. Yep, shield's down for a turn. I'm just gonna, if they're gonna play some mana, I'll do the same. Tomebound Lich. Okay, that's incredibly annoying. I think I'm going to Thoughtseize. I think that's better than Jace. Opponent's hand is not very good. Let's take that. Let's play this. Let's do this and pass. I might one for one myself with this against this Tomebound Lich. Though I will let their commander resolve if they go to cast it. Wow, that was a very good one to cast in this turn cycle. I could have bounced it with Jace, but that doesn't really get me out of it. They got rid of Professor Onyx. Oh, that makes sense. They're nowhere near casting it. Kefnet. That's fine, because then I can sweep the board. I can counter this later. Yeah, we're gonna... Is that even a zombie? Those are zombies, right? Yeah. And now I can bounce Scare God? Be kind of crazy if they didn't cast it. And then hope the cards they've drawn in the meantime don't win the game. I can bounce it twice. Do I do that, though? That seems weird. Alright, well, they don't have an answer to it, because they would have Bajuka Bogged after they had an answer to Jace. No reason to keep it in my... Okay, this makes 0 sense to me. I don't know what they're doing. Why would you do that? Oh, they're just not killing Jace. Okay. Sure. Land is nice, but we need things to stop Ujin from winning the game. Which means I have to tutor for one? 3 or less. I gotta kill Ujin basically right now. I don't know if I have a card that does that. Is Murderous Rider in here? I don't think it is. This is bad. Oh, wait, we got Angrass Rampage. Okay, thank God. Kefnet's stuck under a 2/2. But now they have 9 mana, they can instantly reanimate something. And I'm, again, shields down. Okay. This is reasonable as well, that makes sense. Makes sense. It does mean Jace is in play, and it might be rough for them to do something about it. Gotta go, you should have a enters tapped version of your emote. Yeah. That's funny. Maybe. The sky's the limit. It's weird to put all those cards in your hand when you know what my commander does, but I also can't really cast it right now, so I'll keep the board the way it is. They can kill it with an equipped Shadow Spear, I'm sure they will. Other zombies get blah blah blah, fine. That is incredibly annoying. I can't get ahead. I'm just going to negate that, because who knows when I'm able to negate in the future. Land? Nope. Of course not. Alright. I just passed, I guess. I could just make a bunch of devils instead of actually sweeping the board. That seems kind of weird. Have one... No, just pass. Really wanted a land. But I can't leave up mana with the Xander. And Xander's not really doing that much. Making my opponent discard a card seems like totally not great. And they're a blue-black zombie list playing Scarab God. This is, again, another opponent you never, ever, ever want to mill. Ever want to mill. So this will just be a 6/6 that is now a blocker from then on. Which is not really great at all. But maybe it makes them discard a bunch of cards. I don't know. Well, we drew the land, but now we have to sweep the board. We could run a bunch of Graveyard Hate, but that's still not really that, like, great either, honestly. Okay, they didn't put Scarab God to their hand. Oh, right, it's because they got exiled. Let's Essence Scatter this. Any cuts? No, we just put Phyrexian Arena in the deck, replace them in the lands, but haven't done anything else. Alright, well, we found a board that's empty to cast our commander, I guess. Never mind, this is way better. That was way better. Yeah, Bojuka Bog. But I need Bojuka Bog within the same turn I'm basically swinging with this, and that doesn't really line up that often. What does this do? When it dies or anything else, you get a zombie. Okay. I guess I'm just plussing. I don't really see a reason to attack. Not too much. I believe this makes them lose the last card in their hand. Round it down. No, it doesn't. You have one card in your hand. This doesn't do anything. God, this card is just so bad. It's just so bad. Like, what the hell? It's just so unbelievable. I literally can't swing with it. I can't swing with it. My opponent's just going to reanimate the best cards in their deck if I swing with Lord Xander. And I'm not going to close the game out at a reasonable pace, swinging a couple times with this. In fact, the first attack makes me lose the game. They're already reanimating crazy stuff, too. Oh, wow. Okay. They're not casting it? Interesting. Yep, take action. They're just not casting it. They also killed my Xander, which means they have to lose a permanent. Not really a big deal, though. Just kind of surprised to see this. Yeah, 0.5 is down to 0. Elspeth's Nightmare could come in, too, yeah. Cling to Dust is just good. I'm not opposed to that one. Just running that card. We could look into that. But we've only really attacked with Xander in 2 games over the course of however many games we've played, so still not all that excited about it. They got rid of Meat Hook Massacre. I feel like I would have gotten rid of Shadow Spear. I don't see the appeal of keeping... Like, this could maybe kill me? The Shadow Spear is definitely not killing me. Okay, I'm not going to kill the zombie. We'll just do this. This costs 2 because colorless cards are 2 less with Ujin in play. Play that, play this. We can play this, but then we can't play Sorin, but my opponent loses a card in hand, which just fine. Let's do it. They get rid of Search for Iskanta. Wow. But they can start getting stuff back. Although not really anything all that scary currently. They can't really kill Xander in combat. I mean, they can. It's just... So do I kill the Scarab God with Ujin? I didn't even realize that's a possibility. I could just do that. And then it dies to the 4/4 flyer they make. So maybe that's not a good idea. Let's just see what's under this first. This kills all the tokens they generate. Alright, let's go to combat swing with Xander. But that's just stupid. I can't swing with a card. They're gonna mill and I'm gonna lose. I can't swing with it. I'll lose the game. I will lose the game if I swing. It's just unbelievably bad to do that. Alright, we'll just make a token so I can block the Kefnet flying token. Although, if it has trample, that's just not true. And of course, they have an exile effect. Yep, so God forbid I make them lose their stuff. This does mean they're not activating Scarab God this turn cycle, which I believe this is the second time my opponent's done this for some strange reason. It makes me want to just kill Scarab God, but it goes to hand, they can recast it for 5 mana, I'm not really taxing it. And I think we need to continue to amass card advantage. Okay, that's not really what I meant there, deck. I think a single 2/2 or a single flyer will just make me feel comfortable. Let's just do that. Not gonna Storm's Wrath. Alright, well, they can't activate Scarab God, I guess. They've yet to crack the Mind Stone. Interesting. Alright, they didn't play the card first, so it's not a land. Which is probably not good news. Narfi, excuse me. Narfi boy. Sure. Okay, well, one of these was playable before they lost 2 life with the Castle Lockmane. Okay. Do you attack? You do? This doesn't kill Ujin, and I can just do this. They obviously keep me with the Ujin token, so I don't get the card. Okay. I feel like my opponent should just be reanimating things and stop wasting their time doing other weird stuff. Like, what is this doing? Just reanimate stuff here. Yep. Take that. Agonizing Remorse is Graveyard Hate. It will exile something that's annoying. I guess I will just use it now. I think all the tokens have just gotten mana or like mana sources. That's kind of funny. Alright, let's see what's here. Alright, that's not bad. Storm's Wrath isn't looking too great. Might just get rid of that. But we have a useless land too, sort of. Approach could just steal the game, and the other ones are not really exciting, so I'll just attempt to steal the game. I think that's a better way to close it out here. What is my opponent reanimating next turn? Kefnet and potentially whatever. Yeah, alright, we'll just cast this and then race towards it, and this will probably just win the game. Funny way to end it, if that is the case, if that is the actual outcome. We're getting really close to it too, because we have we're seeing 3 cards a turn essentially with the 2 planeswalkers. Although I don't think both are gonna. We're not untapping with both. Shambling Ghast. Okay. They actually played the card before they potentially activate Castle Lockmane. So they have not done yet. Opponent just does literally nothing. Whatever I target with this will now just become a creature before I'm able to actually like deal with it. So I could kill. No, I think we're just gonna race to the approach by just amassing more cards in play. We're not actually under lethal pressure, not even close. Though it is kind of weird that my opponent, in fact, did not at least look for the Castle Lockmane, because they've been doing it every turn and now they just stopped. I don't know what changed. Ashiok is 5. Ooh, God. Okay. How close are we now? 4 cards down. This doesn't really draw cards. Yeah, we'll still play it. We can bounce a card. Whatever we bounce is gone forever if my opponent doesn't draw a card like the same thing. Is that even worth it though? I could force them to reanimate a bunch here. Like, let's see what happens when I do this, right? And then they, in response, they make a bunch of stuff, and then I can Storm's Wrath it, so the board is empty. There's nothing in my graveyard, right? Okay. Starting to get nervous there. Okay, that is actually annoying, right? Because then they make a bunch of 2/2s that I cannot double sweep. Alright, well, we got what we wanted, though, basically. Which is to just deal with everything. Oh, this is annoying, actually. They can draw a bunch of cards. But we're not under pressure that would just kill us. Looks like that card was an instant or sorcery because Kefnet forced them to pause on draw. They obviously can't pay 2, but we now know one of these is an... Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It's getting exiled forever. And I was wrong. It was not actually that. Okay, so we can sweep the board. They have a bunch of zombies. Oh, we can sweep the board again, but we'll lose all of our stuff. That seems really bad, right? If I just Storm's Wrath and then lose all of my Planeswalkers. Am I dead on board? Block. Not really. Alright, well, I think we can just wait then. The only thing that's really bad is if they draw out of this, and I don't think they will, so... If I could just get another cycle of, like, maybe drawing some cards here, it's good. And just having these 2/2s, or just these zombies in play. Okay. Well, they drew something that is instantly copyable. They targeted their own Shambling Ghast. I have no idea why. I don't know what on earth that does for them. What was that for? They didn't even tap it with, like, they could have done this first to at least maybe get a card from it? I don't understand. Memory Deluge just wins the game on spot. So this game is now over. Yeah. We know the card in their hand. They can't reanimate anything that counters this, so yep, that's good. Got an approach the second sun win. That's great. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is dirty. My favorite kind of win, too. Approach the second sun. Oh, my poor opponent. Can't do nothing to stop this. Yep. Looking for a counterspell. Looks like they didn't find it. My opponent proceeds to kill their own Scarab God, I guess. Nice. That's great. And approach the second sun. Win with a Grixis Super Friends deck. Oh, key to the archive. Don't ever change. Oh, my back. My back. It does feel like we are... Like, there's a lot of times where my opponent can cleanly answer my card advantage engine, and I'm just back to, like, sort of one-for-oneing them. Now, we did have Double Sweeper to clear the board completely, and Scarab God is not particularly, like, a common matchup that just happens to be very good against sweepers, because I can't really shut down their commander, because it always costs 5. We can, like, counter it, but... it's not, like, super consistent. We can kill it over and over, but, you know. So, if we do run Graveyard Hate, what are we dropping? And is that even a good idea? Because, like, dealing with the... I don't know. Omnixless doesn't feel great. We really never get to casualty it, and having one is cool, but you probably just want two as many like as often as possible. Otherwise, it's just kind of all right. Yeah, we can get rid of it. I like the Planeswalker package so far. I mean, basically all of them advance kind of card advantage, sort of, except Ashiok, I guess. Well, unless he like exiles a decent card from their hand or something. I also don't really like iteration when your deck is a bunch of expensive spells that you kind of don't want to lose access to by putting them to the bottom. So that can, excuse me, just be Cling to Dust. Costs one less. It's not double colored. Not Sling. Cling. Cling. Oh god, I'm going to see every cycling card in the game. Yep. What else? Tax the Graveyard. Elspeth's Nightmare. We don't have Bajuka Bog, but I don't think that's really where you want to be. It's almost free to just run the card, though, and just drop a swamp. It's not, like, that bad. Hive of the Eye Tyrant does exile graveyards. If I ever somehow attack with it, might even have to suicide it to do that sometimes. I could run the cantripping artifacts that exile the graveyard, because I don't go down cards for something that I cast that wound up being useless, like Soul Guide Lantern. I don't know if I like Elspeth's Nightmare that much. Yeah, we can just throw a Lantern in there, because if I don't need it, I can just cycle it. That's just fine. We don't have Kroxa in here. It's not bad with Maestro's Charm, because you do mill, what, like 4 cards just right into the graveyard. It's not bad. Also, I think I'd prefer you find the Villain's Lair to be the choose counter spell, Supreme Will. I think that's just a little bit better than the other one there. I always forget Supreme Will exists, to be totally honest with you. And it's not like we can't tutor for them. Is there any weird combo we can try to cheese every time? Niv Mizzet Curiosity? We do have a lot of tutors. It worked last time. Well, at least a couple times. But we have, like, a control value engine. Like, we do have just slow win conditions in the deck. Last time, it was, like, Niv Mizzet as your commander, and good luck trying to flip it, and just doing control things in the meantime. It's not bad, though. I don't mind it, right? Like, imagine I didn't have approach that last game. I was not out of anything. I double sweep. I lose basically all my resources, and they lose all theirs. But they gain a bunch because the Crypt Stalker's in play. They can, like, draw 2 right then and there. Then, again, I have to go down 2 sweepers to just deal with the board. I didn't answer Scarab God doing that. Oh, we could run Scarab God. That way, when my opponent's graveyard goes bye-bye car, I can still do stuff. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Archmage's Charm is a bit steep. Scarab God's one of my favorite cards. I miss Scarab God. I might actually play another Scarab God list. I think there's enough new cards since I've played it last. God knows when that was. It might have been half a year ago at this point. I think it was one of the earliest commanders I played when I started this, I think. I might not even have a list since I started. I don't know. But I've certainly played it before. Really like this card. And obviously it's blue-black, so. It is a lot of red and blue, but that wasn't a problem last time. Like, getting color screwed isn't too big of a deal. We're making treasure tokens. We have, like, a bunch of mana rocks that kind of tap for any color I want. And, Yeah, I don't think we really get color screwed. Not really. If your deck's running a bunch of mana rocks, you just tend to not to be that color screwed. Like every time I've had Nicol Bolas in hand, or technically, there's like almost every time I'm at 5 mana, it's not totally unreasonable that I'm able to cast Nicol Bolas Dragon God, and that's kind of the steepest ask in this deck. And it's sort of similar to Div Mizzet, except this is 3 different colors, that's just 2. Even if black is our most prominent color, I think it's still totally reasonable. I could make it work, certainly. Because we had made it work last time. With that in mind, Phyrexian Scriptures is more graveyard hate. I don't know how I feel about Maestros Charm. Milling myself just feels a little weird when I'm not running Kroxa. I do have Cling to Dust, and I have an escape card. It just feels weird. I mean, the cards you lose access to that got milled aren't relevant because, you know, theoretically you weren't going to draw them anyways because you didn't cast this to find 1 of 5 regardless. So, you know, it's not like milling yourself isn't really impactful. Your opponent now knows some cards not to play around because you milled them. And if you see 2 really good cards and you can only pick one, the other is gone forever because I don't have any way to get it out of my own graveyard. So I think there's just better cantrips than this, but I do like how it is also a removal spell. But we're not running like Murderous Rider, which I like, I think, before I would run this. Though maybe not. This does kind of the same thing Murderous Rider does, except I also can use it to find something. Like, I don't know. It's probably still worth just keeping in the deck. I don't like Dark Ritual as a card. Getting this out faster kind of cool, I guess. This would certainly be the kind of deck for it. We do have a lot of things in like 6 and up. Well, just 6 and not really this one. It's not bad. I mean, you can cast it for things that are here too. Like I can tap 1 Swamp, Dark Ritual, have the blue-red, and just turn 3 Nicol Bolas or something crazy. Turn 4 isn't bad either, but I don't know. I really don't think Lord Xander is that amazing as a target for Dark Ritual to cast this for turn 5. I don't think that's that great. Or let's say turn 4 if I had a Mana Rock or something, which is not unreasonable. Turn 2 Dark Ritual into a Mana Rock, like a 4 Mana Rock, is kind of weird. But then I would prefer the Dark Ritual itself at that point have been a Mana Rock, so I can consistently use it. Because this is not like... I mean, again, there are some games you can't really attack. You just can't attack. If you have no way to interact with your opponent's graveyard, you just can't swing with this. You'll just lose the game. Just completely. You'll full stop lose the game on the spot. Your opponent could have no cards in hand, and then you swing, and there's a chance you still lose. They could do something with their graveyard, and you just can't do anything. Right. Also, I believe he's been exiled more than killed, but I do like his death trigger. His death trigger is nice. His Enter the Battlefield one is cool. I don't see a reason to flicker him to get that to happen over and over, because they're only losing half their hand, and sometimes if they have 1 card, they're actually losing nothing. If they have 3 cards, they're losing 1 card, and that's just not, you know, like... This is definitely a multiplayer commander, like, just completely. The fact that you have to target somebody with, well, essentially all 3 abilities, target 1 opponent and not all of them, makes this card, like, extremely political, and in that regard, I think it's kind of cool. You will make enemies instantly with someone in multiplayer, but you'll have time to like reasonably cast him more than once and not just die. So it's cool in that regard. But one-on-one, it doesn't feel great. But anywho. Oh, Kolagon's Command. I should absolutely be in here. I always forget about both of these. I don't know why I just forgot about one this time, but yeah, that should absolutely be in here. Maybe we can drop the Saw It Coming. At this point, we're not really a counterspell deck, just like Grixis Super Friends. Though we weren't really into counterspells anyways. I do like all the 2-mana counterspells. Well, yeah, I like all of them, so. And this is still a cantrip. This is technically 2, or however you look at it, costs 2, 3, or 4, depending on who you ask. Um, yeah, I guess we're not on the Niv Mizzet thing currently. Though just drawing one piece and then finding the other with a tutor is not unreasonable. And it is very good because the expensive part is uncounterable. Niv Mizzet is still a decent card. But what would I drop? 3-mana Ashiok. Deny my opponent any form of searching. It does answer the graveyard repeatedly, which allows me to attack continuously. That's actually not a bad idea. It does, like, if I have it in play, I can swing, like, more than once. Okay. Maybe we can drop... Well, no. I just like all of these. Maybe Ashiok isn't great. Well, if I'm exiling my opponent's graveyard aggressively, or more aggressively, I do kind of like it. I like the treasured things, but I think they might be the first to go. Just pitching these treasure cards. Ah, but I just like the treasure cards a lot. Maybe Rampage isn't great, right? Like, I have a lot of removal. And this isn't even, like, hard removal. I am sort of weak to opposing Planeswalkers, which looks funny just given what we're playing with now. It just looks funny that I actually am a little weak to those. But I guess we'll try to not play the treasure things here. I'll run Ashiok. Yeah, Relic is just another lantern. And if I don't need it, I can cantrip it. Is that the first thing I would add, though? Maybe? Yeah. Can just... Bedevil. Bedevil's not bad. Bedevil's not bad. It's kind of like a Maestros Charm that doesn't make me feel horrible. I do like the card. It's been a while since I've actually cast it. The art's cool. The art is, like, really, really intense. Yeah. Maybe we can drop a sweeper. We have a bunch. I think we can get rid of a board wipe. Yeah, it does kill Planeswalkers. These do too. Crux of Fate does not hit Planeswalkers, but that one seems just too good to get rid of. Probably get rid of Languish. Languish has been pretty good to us, though. Same with Storm's Wrath. But the red ones just deal with Planeswalkers, sort of, and the black one just doesn't. They do kind of the same thing. So we can drop Languish. Drown in the Lock? No. If we're, like, super into the graveyard hate stuff, I don't like Drown in the Lock. If I swing with my commander, then Drown is great, but that meant I swung with my commander. My opponent could not do anything with their graveyard. I didn't exile their graveyard, and I also had Drown in the Lock in that game. I think that's too much to ask for me to like Drown in this deck. Alright, so we drop some blue for more black. Go down to the island for a swamp. I think that's fine. Alright, let's run it back. Let's try this. Enough of this chit-chat. I think we've done some substantial changes here. I don't know if it changes the outcome, because again, if I actually cast in Resolve and untap the Lord Xander, you know, we gotta get there first, and we haven't really done that much anyways, so the graveyard hate is not terribly exciting, but gotta try. Got to try. It's always nice when Ashiok is in play and your opponent has like stuff that wants to find cards from hand, like tutors. It's always just nice. What on earth are we actually playing against? Blue-green, but it's not Tatyova. It is blue-green endless growth spirals. Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, shoot. It's safe to bet my opponent probably has Ulamog in their deck somewhere. It's kind of spoopy. Eldritch Reborn is also an argument to play, just because it... what does it do? Reanimate something from my opponent's graveyard when I go to swing. Alright, I don't think I'm playing Valki on turn 2. Thank God my opponent wasn't on the play, I guess. Tome of the Infinite. Interesting, interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so we do this on black, I think. Yeah. We play Replicating Ring, and then next turn I go to, like, do something else. I don't know. Let's see. I can steal this with Angrath if they don't play anything else. Yeah, it doesn't need to tap. It instantly sacks itself. It's kind of funny. You, like, can't choose not to do that. They did not swing with this. That's no bueno. Play this, play a land, play Ashiok. You counter this? What? What are you doing? There's no way you counter this. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okie dokie. Let's do red or... We already have one blue. Do we need a second blue? I think we need double red, just a bit more. I'm not casting Valki. What? Quandrix Command? Basically put a counter here and... Okay, I don't know. I don't think that's... Okay. Oh, they got a duress. Yeah. A game where I would love them to get Swords of Plowshares. They get duress. Because of course they do. Okay. I guess I'm just killing... I don't know. Let's just Valki. Brazen Bower. Okay. That's not terrible. I can block and then turn it into a Bower. It's a 3-1, so they'll trade. Settle the Wilds. Yep. Gets a land, gets a 5. But they can't swing. So that's pretty good, I guess. Come on. Come on. I don't... Okay. I can't get upset. I'm banned. I'm banned from being upset. I guess we just play Ashiok. Is that what we're... Yeah, we're just playing Ashiok. Let's attack the graveyard a little bit. Mill them. Maybe I hit Ulamog or something spicy. Nope. Just a bunch of lands and a ramp spell. And a pass. Because I don't see a reason to attack. Double duress. Yep. Must be nice. Well, they have no way to tutor anything. I'm just going to cash this in before it just dies to... Did I mill another 4 lands? Are you serious? No, I didn't. I milled 4 mana-based threats. Okay, well, I can still block, so whatever. Yeah, they got a 1 in 10 twice. They overspent. That's weird. I don't know why they manually tapped to overspend for a Memory Deluge. I don't get it. Okay, Wizard class, sure. You can't swing. This game is over anyways. I'm probably wasting my time. Counter spells in hand. I'm not doing anything. It's over. Double duress for free, ladies and gentlemen. Double duress, which I didn't have an answer to, so they're probably going to get more. Still not running that card. I think that card's just... I think, honestly, that card is probably the dumbest thing in the game. I think it's dumber than Key of the Archive. I think it's dumber than Alchemy cards. I think it's dumber than having 2 versions of cards. I think Tome of the Infinite is just the dumbest card in the game. I think it's just completely stupid. Like, it either doesn't do anything at all, or it wins you the game, like, outright. And if you want to play that kind of, like, card, you should just go play Hearthstone, where every single card has the word random on it. Which I actually do play. For the chaotic fun of it, I guess. For those high rolly outcomes, but being on the receiving end obviously isn't great. But I mean, if it's Hearthstone, it's Hearthstone. But here, it's just stupid. It's just dumb. I can't play that card on paper. Like, imagine that card. It would be the #1 card, like, on EDH Rec that has, like, the salt meter. It would probably be Tome of the Infinite. Your opponent got Force Spike when they needed it. They got Giant Growth when they needed it. They got 3 Swords of Plowshares in a row. They got double duress against the deck that has, like, very few creatures. Like, it will just completely... It'll solo your opponent. In fact, there was a game where I remember there was one of the games we played it, and it did just that. Like, I got 3 Swords to Plowshares and 4 activations, and I won the game. Like, okay, cool. That's just so stupid. It's so stupid. I guess by that definition, I should always run the card in my blue decks. Right? Okay. My opponent apparently likes their graveyard. I don't know why you would ever do that. That is very strange to me, but we will take it. This is tapped. Still my only red source. Probably should have played it last turn. Wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Yeah, it's also very low cost, right? It only costs 3 mana, and then from there it's just the sky's the limit. It does anything you want it to. All right, we'll do this. I mean, it can even get Ponders, actually. It can get Ponders, and Ponders are good. That's just a cantrip. You know, at that point the card is just drawing cards. But theoretically, Tome of the Infinite can solo your opponent. If they're slow enough, it can, like, theoretically, you could just have Tome of the Infinite, never be able to draw a card again, and just instantly kill your, like, well, not instantly, but kill your opponent over the course of a few turns. Alright, I think I play Ashiok. I'm not going to play my commander. I'll make a 2/3. I think this is just better. My opponent can't even steal this and then kill Ashiok with it with their commander, and I don't really care about Ingrath. In fact, they shouldn't steal my commander with Ingrath, because you don't want to mill me, because that is never a good idea. It also, unless they had a way to sacrifice it, which they currently do. They actually do have a way to sacrifice it. Yeah, they do. Alright, so thank God I didn't actually cast this, because I would have lost it, and I would have lost one of my... No, I wouldn't have lost anything, because this is the only permanent in play. So I actually wouldn't have lost... I wouldn't have lost it, or this. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, they play this, sacrifice a creature, they play another sack outlet, gotcha. I cannot kill this one with Chandra. I guess we're just making another one? Or do we bounce this? Yeah, if my opponent's entire turn next turn is... Yeah, that's fine. It's also probably not a good idea for them to sacrifice this to the Bow Strider, so looks like they won't. And I want to leave up the Charm so I can kill something. I actually like my whole hand, but that... I'm still going to cast this. Demonic Tutor. Is that better than this? That means I can't tutor for a removal spell, and I'm losing my stuff. But alright, I mean, I can't pass up Demonic Tutor. That's just insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can kind of cast anything. Liliana here? What does Liliana do? Actually, Scarab God seems good. My opponent can never deal with this card. Like, not forever, at least. I think that's great. So they can Angrath, they can minus my stuff. They don't have blue mana. They obviously can't activate the Scarab God. So, Alright. Yeah, there's cards from Tome of the Infinite that are actually not in the game otherwise, like Ponder. It even gets fogs. It actually also gets fogs, doesn't it? It's just really good. This is odd to me. I don't understand why they didn't just steal my token and do it. Because this way they actually didn't develop their commander. And I actually got to keep the 2-3. That doesn't matter too much, but I guess I have it now. So no creatures in the graveyard. Probably will be like that for a while. I can play Chandra and plus it. It goes up to 8. And they can't kill it with stealing my token. So I'll just develop this. I can kill Woestrider. It does get exiled that way. It's only 2. And they can't kill it. Yeah, alright. We'll just kill the Woestrider here. Dead forever. And then they can't fire this up and also play this. So they can't on board deal with Chandra. I also exiled a creature just now, so it's another creature that is actually not to the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I will play Scarab God, because if they steal it, I can just block it, and again, it's not actually doing anything. They can't get rid of it forever. I'll just always have it. Wait a minute, can you exile this, or is it when it just dies? It's when it dies, so they can't exile it like Vraska's Contempt and stuff. You can't make blue decks weaker in Legacy, yeah. Well, if you give mono blue access to infinite Swords of Plowshares, who would have guessed? Infinite Swords of Plowshares and infinite duress? Oh no. Yeah, that was a good idea. Jeez. Okay, I don't know what they're thinking about, but they're thinking about something. Oh yeah, we kind of need it to play Scarab God, otherwise they play Ashiok. I mean, they play Angrath, and then I lose it, because it's the only card in my hand. So it was a good thing I just noticed that. Okay, they figured out a card to play. One that is kind of weird. Each opponent discards, lose 2, or you put a non-dragon for your graveyard on the battlefield. Okay. Tail's End is a weird one. Not really where I wanted to be. I don't have a good plus. I guess we're just starting here. Good old Hedron Archive. Now that's a good card. That's a good card. I guess we're, yep, nowhere to go but up. I highly doubt they're going to trade. In fact, that would be very strange. So I will just swing. Okay. It probably does make sense to play Liliana and just plus it. It's a zombie in play. It's another threat. My opponent can't deal with both. Yeah, this is probably just quite nice. I'm not going to -2. I'm just going to do this. Would have liked to leave out Tails in, but I mean, I think we'll live. Blast it, tap lands. High Tide? Yeah, High Tide is cool. I should play Magic Online, so I'm not playing... Oh, shoot, that hurt. Against, like, kids on cockatrice. When I play Legacy, I like Mentor decks, Jeskai Mentor and stuff. Which one do we get rid of here? It's actually kind of tough. Might not matter, but which one's just better? I think Liliana is slightly better. No, I think I'm going to, if I can, attempt to keep around the other one. Yeah. If I can put 2 emblems on them, I think that's enough to just kill them before we would die. But they might just have... Yeah, right. I kind of assumed whatever we did didn't matter. Probably had an answer to both there. No, they can't. They don't feel like they can attack. Oh, scroll that to the bottom. We have a zombie. So if they bounce off each other, what happens? They make me lose cards? I don't know. I could just tutor for something. I make them lose a card in hand with this. No, that's a bit... No, I don't want them to ever Angrath my commander. Because if they have any way to sacrifice it, I am in trouble. I can get an Angrath of my own. Is that a good idea? Probably not. They have a way to sacrifice it with a Phyrexian Tower in play, so it doesn't actually matter how they steal it. Doesn't matter how they steal it or what they steal, they can kill it. What does this do? Jace. Can I? Yeah. Alright. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Has to be 5 or down so I can leave up Tail's End, and this is a good idea. Draw another card. Yeah, I'm not going to let them just have this die, and I think I will swing for 5. That's a good one. I guess I won't get rid of it. They got rid of the card we did not know about, which was Massacre Girl. That's kind of funny. So the trade, they don't get anything from this. I lose the cards in my hand. No, I don't, because I get to Tails End the trigger, and I don't really care about the other 2 cards. And Junji will now go to the graveyard. This is actually nice. In fact, they actually just can't block. Yeah, right, they can't block, because they have to kill Nicol Bolas. Forgot about that. You have to actually deal with that. Their hand is poop, and their commander is not really doing anything right now. Oh, that's a legendary. Oh, yeah, I'll just Tails End it. Alright, so they have to swing, but then they're just dead, so they can't. They literally cannot swing, they'll die. Yep. Which means they're always dead, because I can just minus and kill them? No, that's not true. That's not true, because when this dies I get to reanimate something. No, they don't, because I get to eat it with the Scarab God. I just get to eat this card. So they are always dead. Yeah. Alright, so Nicol Bolas is actually a really good idea to take, then. It draws me a card, it deals with something. It's on 5, so I can Tails End either this or that. If I Tails End this, I can eat it. What did they exile? Exile target creature? Why did they get rid of this card? Wouldn't it have made way, way more sense to exile this, because then I don't have a target for Scarab God? It goes to exile, it doesn't get... Oh no, it was a Massacre Girl, excuse me. I don't think it was Settle the Score. I think this was the card that was exiled with the plus. How did this get in exile? I don't know how this got in exile. Okay. We beat Angrath, and they never actually cast the card. It's kind of uncommon for Angrath to have died, never even cast it before. I don't think I've ever played against Angrath, and they didn't at least cast it once. That's interesting. Good old Scarab God. Black Market Tycoon. I think we've already had one of those. I believe. Alright, we got Falco's alternate art. I don't think it gives you the actual card, though. Which I don't believe I own currently. There's some very, like, unique commanders in this set. They all do very weird things. It's kind of cool. Some look kind of straightforward, but, like, in practice, they're just weird. Corvold. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Alright, way to exile the graveyard is nice. Way to sweep the board is also nice. Planeswalker, Minerock, some weird thing to do in the meantime. Okay. Alec here, right, sure. Shift, enter, can't cast Pact of Negation. Witch's Oven, sure. That is tapped, so we cast you. What do you have on 1 mana that's castable? 1 black mana? You have Dark Ritual, Cycle Land, I don't know what else. I really don't know. Thoughtseize. Okay, probably take Sorin, so I don't run away with the game. Pretty easy Sorin, I think, right? You should probably take Sorin. Just take... Oh my god, what is happening? What on earth is that? Okay, so I'm going to plus it. If my opponent just... yeah, we're going to just do that. I now have Pact of Negation up, which I... It's not like I don't... What? Okay. What? What are you doing? Oh, Prismari Command deals with the only card they cast, and they missed a land drop. Even still, though, you have to take Sorin. Like, if you're going to come back from missing lands, you don't come back if I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, and you're missing lands. You come back if I blow this up, which wasn't doing anything, and I just cast this instead. It's not even all that scary. It's just not doing anything. I could even... I mean, there's a chance I misclick and I make them draw 2, discard 2, or something weird. Although I'd probably just make a treasure token. That was a really not good Thoughtseize. Guess it didn't matter because they missed lands. Well, it appears as though they kept a 2-lander with a Witch's Cauldron that had nothing to Cauldron. Oh, if you're stuck on 2 lands, that's not surprising. Alright, we'll play a couple more games here. Oh no, I didn't want to play against the mirror. Oh god. Oh dear. Counterspell, Mana Rock, Planeswalkers, I'm keeping it. It's safe to assume everyone that is not me is playing way more creatures than I am. I don't really see a reason to play a turn 1 Lantern. Though I guess I also don't see a reason not to, but I'm just not going to do it. Probably end up cycling this for a land. Oh, you can cast it now. Whoop. No blue mana. Never mind. They found it. Alright, let's get an island. And I believe that's all I can do. I don't really see a reason in cracking this lantern right now. I think we can wait. It's not really doing anything. Zandy Boy Mirror. Alright, that's a problem. And I have no answer to it. I don't think I can find one. Nope, that's bad. Now, we found our own, sort of. Not really. Didn't draw a land. Let's just Sorin and make... Sorin and plus, because I really need to find lands? Oh boy. Okay. Feel like they should have made a treasure token. I don't know why they didn't. I guess in that case I'll make a thing. Shock myself and pass? This is bad. Could be worse, I guess. They know about the saw it coming, so they literally saw it coming. They literally see it coming. I will literally counter anything. I need to get cards out of my hand. Yep, nowhere to go but up, so we'll do that first. Please, nothing crazy expensive. Alright, it's a land. I guess I'll play that tapped? No, we're going to play it untapped. I don't want my opponent to know about the other land. I think there's a little bit of value in that. So we're going to hide that fact. And if we're both drawing 2 cards a turn, I think this is kind of fine. My opponent has a mana advantage, but it's not like I can't cast things. This is not a terrible spot to be in. Terrible. They are dying, kind of. Not like super fast, but... Hedron Archive. I won't counter that. It's a deep mana investment, and I'll just counter the things that the mana, you use the mana on. Okay. Now we're gonna go up. Tails in. We have all the counter spells we could ever want. It's kind of funny. That is a tap land. I won't play a tap land. Let's swing for 2. Opponent kind of feels obligated to start killing this token, otherwise it might die. Okay. Nope. If I can leave up an army of counterspells, I'll do that. I'll get rid of Burn Down the House. Inquisition. That's really annoying. Cool. They witness protection they turned my vampire into a 1/1 legitimate business person. That's funny. I think I'll make another one and continue to pressure my opponent with tokens. Because we kind of got out of the mana screw. But you get tails in this trigger? There's no way. And here I can play Kaito and probably just plus it. If I'm going to play something, it's got to allow me to leave up Tails End. They have a castable card, or it's just like letting them sack this for 0. Could be one of the two. Alright, let's just play this, see what happens. Nope, just snap resolved. That's good news. Go away. Blood in the Snow. Not really exciting. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen. Nowhere to go but up. Hey, it's another counterspell. Guess we'll just win. Oh, it's another counterspell. I guess we'll just win. That's funny. I was like, no. Yeah, we'll just play this. And probably make a 1/1? No, I don't want to run into a sweeper. Let's just draw more cards than our opponent. Okay. At this point, Arena's going to kill them. Maybe even if I did nothing for the rest of the game. I don't know if this... Could they kill me in 9 turns? Probably. Ritual of Soot? Okay. That's fine. I don't... If I could just kill you with your own card, I'm certainly winning this game. The Jace Ultimate will just kill you, so... Mirror March? Let's put that back on top. And then one more turn, I just win with the ultimate. Yep, that's fine. Scry. Let's go away. Do we want a Kaito plus? Probably. I don't think a 1/1 is terribly relevant. Let's just... We have cards to get rid of, too, so... Let's get rid of... Crux of Fate? I don't see myself as really casting that. I might want to... No, we're just going to pass. We're just going to pass. Play it super... It's basically the last turn, right? The only thing that matters is the Jace ultimate. If they can't do anything about it, the game's over. So blowing up anything doesn't seem relevant. I don't really care about these. They basically had infinite mana anyways. Okay, they cast Mirror March again. Fine. And that is basically game. Yep. That is game. Okay. We got them. They can't really beat Jace Ultimate. Not realistically. But it's not impossible. It is not impossible. Let's just pass. Yeah, it's not impossible. As long as they don't, like, do some weird stuff. Still kind of sketchy, but it's almost just game. It's not like this attacking me is a problem. And even getting copies of it isn't really all that scary either. Whoops. I don't think they realized that was going to happen. They should have baited a different spell first. Bit of a mistake. Wow, that might have been the last opportunity to do something, and they may have just cost themselves the game. Pioneer's Pillage. Yeah, let's counter that. Because my opponent discarded a card to it, so I just get even more value out of just countering it. Now they have no cards in hand. Make this. Plus. Thoughtseize is useless, but I guess I will draw it. At this point, I think it's fine to just cast this. No reason to exile any artifact. We got our own Phyrexian Arena. And pass. They need to draw something, otherwise it gets countered. Like, whatever they play gets countered, so... Yeah, I have to sack my stuff, but I don't have that many permanents, so I don't really care. I don't know why they're manually tapping. What are they doing? Opponent, it gets countered. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can they do it again? Okay, they can do it again? No, they can't do it again. Okay. What on earth? Okay. I might want to kill that. Might need to kill that. Copies of this don't do anything, but... Let's shock our opponent and draw a discard. 2 damage to them, and I'll draw a discard. Get rid of Thoughtseize. No, Thoughtseize is alright. They still have cards in hand. This is useless. What in the snow? Probably treasure map. Probably just not time for that. This game's been going longer than you would have thought, though. Actually, we just have an easy answer. Let's just do this. And then cast... Oh, this plus here. Alright, that can probably seal it up. Let's see. Let's swing, see what is under Kaito. Let's play this. Nicol Bolas is not really that great right now. Yeah, we're gonna search for probably just a counter spell. I have more in the deck, right? I have basically found all of them. I actually don't have another counterspell. Negate's alright, but Negate doesn't deal with them actually casting their commander. So I kill them with Angrath instead, right? Because they go to 1, and then Phyrexian Arena kills them unless they tails end it. It was a Storm's Wrath. Alright. Yes, we did it. We did it. My opponent literally hosed themselves twice by playing into the Jace ultimate twice, when they could have instead kind of cast anything else in the meantime and then cast this. And obviously this can kill you out of nowhere. Like, you can play a 1-1 and this will kill you if you flip that many coin. If you win that many coin flips, there's nothing I can do. So that is kind of scary, but swinging with, say, on average they get 3, I take 18. Or let's say I had to survive it, so they made 2. They mill me for a bunch, but I don't die. They lose 2 of them die. I lose 2 permanents, and then I lose 1 permanent. So I sacrifice probably this, and this, and I just keep Angrath this to kill them because they're so low at that point. And that doesn't even stop the Jace emblem from still being a thing in that game. Like, these dying this doesn't do much when it dies, and I don't have many permanents. But surprisingly enough, that was somewhat close, right? If they were paying attention, and they didn't run into this twice, this could have been an issue. It could have actually been an issue. It would have been a crazy game to lose. But we could have lost it. We had basically all of our counterspells. They had an Inquisition too. If it wasn't for that, we would have had another counterspell. But we had literally all of the counterspells in our deck get cast that game. But who knows? Let's say they just never... It's hard to say they wouldn't, but let's say they did not draw something and they just drew lands. Then they can't do this because it's the only spell. They have to actually cast a spell first to get around the Jace. I could have maybe attacked mana at this point with Feed the Swarm hitting here. Probably should have Feed the Swarm. Well, it ended up killing them, but if it didn't kill them like this turn, probably Feed the Swarm this. Or just Feed the Swarm this. Yeah, actually, wait a minute. What am I talking about? Yeah, alright. Everything I just said doesn't matter because I can Feed the Swarm the Mirror March and win the game. Because even if this does resolve, it doesn't have haste. It also is attacking my hand, which is not relevant. My hand's not really doing anything. They can attack my hand twice. Blinking it doesn't really matter. My opponent's deck seemed way, way more all in on Lord Xandar, and as you see, when Lord Xandar is really bad, bad against your opponent, your whole deck is bad, because then it's all in on this, and it doesn't do anything. If you swung twice and milled me for 30 and then 30 then 15, I still win the game. I have 15 cards. You'd have to, let it survive, or I'd have to let it survive. It would have to swing again, mill me for 7. I'd have to still not continue to kill them with 4 Planeswalkers in play. Honestly, Mirror March was the only card they played that was a serious issue. What did I even just throw a counterspell at? What was this? When we were mana screwed at the beginning. Okay, I guess it would have been decent. Spark Double, yeah, they're just too all in on this, and that's not reliable. You have to not only cast it, it has to survive, it has to do other things, but Mirror March is a cool one. Of everything I saw, this is one I do kind of like. That would be kind of cool to have in play and then cast this. But knowing us, probably would never actually flip the right side of the coin and then not actually make clones. Also, we don't have many creatures, so this really doesn't. Battlefield flip to lose. Yeah, oh. Yeah, no, that was the last game I was playing, so... Yeah, thanks for watching, though, Matt. Have a good one. I'm trying to just think about this for a second. For each flip you win, create a token that's a copy. Okay, the copies cannot attack because the card you're copying is a legendary, and this does not remove the legendary clause, like some of the newer cards tend to do. So, I'm sure they have Helm of the Host in their deck somewhere, but... This card in particular does not allow you to swing with the additional Lord Xandars. They could... So, in theory, if they high rolled, we have 1 permanent in play, probably Angrath, and 1 card in hand by the end of it. But they can't swing. So, no, they can't get any attack. The only thing they can do... Okay, yeah, if they kept the clone and they put Lord Xandar back to the command zone, then yes, you're right. Then they can swing once. You're right. I was thinking that they don't keep the clones, because you want this in play still, but I guess that does make more sense. Although then you'd have to recast it again, which I don't even know if they could. How many times did it die? I don't know how to... I think the game ended, so I can't tell. But it had like 11 here, I think. It was like 13. Something like that. Maybe they could have cast it one more time before it started becoming like extremely impossible. But yeah, okay, let's say they did do that and they put the original to the command zone. They would have to put the original command zone because Angrath could steal this and then they would take 6. Milling them aside, that wouldn't even matter. They would just take 6 and die. So, yeah, they were just too low. They never capitalized on the arena. We kind of got our own arena with these. Kept up, caught back up with the mana. Jace Ultimate they couldn't deal with and just won the game. But still... interesting. So, but never mind. It wasn't as close as I thought because Mirror March doesn't let you keep the tokens for combat. So we didn't have the chance of actually dying out of nowhere. Double Xander would not do anything. Honestly, triple Xander wouldn't do anything. So we just had it there. It's cool to end on the mirror. Mirrors are usually... I shouldn't say uninteresting or anything because I tend to play commanders very weird. Like most people playing Lord Xander don't do this, probably because they want to be more in on these cool abilities on the card, and then come to realize you can't realistically do that because it's a 7-mana 6/6. It doesn't do anything at all when it enters the battlefield, except maybe make your opponent discard 1 to 3 cards, usually just 1 or 2, because your opponent's hand's probably a little bit empty because you're on 7. Barring they don't have a counterspell or anything. You've now avoided, like you've got past the first phase, actually casting it. You have to get past the second phase, which is making sure your opponent does not discard anything you don't want them to like reanimate or something, or has really good flashback, or they just got rid of a redundant land or 2. And then you have to swing into an opponent that can't utilize the graveyard, barring you didn't answer the graveyard when you attacked. And it's also just swinging as a 6/6, so it has to, like, survive that. Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't actually have to survive attack, but it has to swing. And then, yeah, the death part is great. I think the death part is great. Most people have more permanents in play than I tend to put in play, because I usually don't play to the board with my decks. So if there's a lot of creatures in play, this is actually decent. But we're running a bunch of sweepers anyways, so we're answering the board regardless. Maybe a more all-in regular commander deck, 4-player EDH. There's like just better. You have way more cards to pick from, so it's just a completely different format. It's not one-on-one. Because if you're, you play this and you're doing your thing, but you're a little behind, it doesn't start to cascade too bad because there's other opponents that might not be able to attack you. You're holding people back from attacking you because you have Xander in play. They don't want to have it die because if they're the reason it died, you're probably going to target them with it, right? But one-on-one, that's not the case. There's only one opponent. If you're slowly falling behind, no one's going to let you catch back up because that guy didn't stop him from doing the thing to that dude. And, she's over there throwing vampires left and right, so everyone's scared of her. Like, there's so many different things in multiplayer, so super political card, and it's cool in that regard. I don't think I would play it in regular EDH still. I think I have different Grixis decisions, or Grixis things I try first before I'd play this, but it is still kind of cool. But, anyways. I think everything was good. The last game, every counterspell came into fruition, except Negate, which we just didn't want to get. Well, they were dead because we dealt 2 damage to them, but I really like Hay Command, Prismari Command. Devil's alright. Maestros Charm, fine. It's not terrible. Cantrip or removal spell, hard to complain about that, honestly. Phyrex Arena and Kaito, obviously just really good. Drawing 2 cards a turn until your opponent deals with them. And they're both somewhat annoying to deal with. One's an enchantment, one's a planeswalker. Jace felt good. Scarab God just feels good. It should be in like every Grixis deck ever, probably. Angrath, yeah, alright, it does what it does. Nicol Bolas does what it does. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're just decent. Chandra's usually just really good. We never really got Dreadhorde General in play. I think we did once, and it just died after it made a zombie. Still just like it more than Professor Onyx, though. Not really big on that one. I do like Sorin. It's like a 4-mana Phyrexian Arena. It's just decent. Sweepers felt fine. We never really had any significant mana woes, but again, that's up to the individual, how many lands you do or don't run, which you run in lieu of more lands or take out, stuff like that. It's up to the individual at that point. We never found a game where the random graveyard hate would have paid off. In fact, probably most Lord Xander players don't even bother with this kind of thing, and try to do something degenerate like my opponent was doing. But you just need so many pieces, and it all needs to come together, and you need to be playing against the right opponent, or the right like opposing commander strategy for it to function. Like, it's such a tall ask. You're just way better off using it as like your plan B in a Grixis control list. At least in my my onions. We got an approach win too there too. Approach win was nice. But yeah, Sorin has just Dark Confidant more than a Phyrexian Arena, basically. Your opponent gets to see the card too. It's literally Dark Confidant. And that one time my opponent like smashed me for 13 and I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, there's drawing 2 cards a turn, and like, alright, I'm -7, and I died. I was like, forgot it actually did that. They probably would have won just plussing it endlessly, but you know. Yeah, no, I think it's solid. I really do like Pact of Negation. I really do. But yeah, let me know what you would and would not run. Like, comment, and do be please subscribing. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.